All right, now French voters are all set to cast their ballots in a few hours from now in the first round of the presidential polls. And recent polls have indicated that there is a significant jump in popularity for the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen, who is presently the key challenger to the incumbent President Emmanuel Macron. The French nationals living in the South and in North America have already started to cast their ballots to choose their favourite candidate. A day before the polls opened, and in the mainland, voters began to cast their votes in New York for the first round of the elections.
Monsieur Botry Olivier a voté.
C'est essentiel, c'est formidable de pouvoir d'avoir ce choix-là. On est effectivement assez loin de Paris et de la France, mais ça nous concerne d'autant plus, puisqu'on veut que nos enfants qui pourraient y retourner aient un avenir correct et un bon avenir.
Similar scenes were reported in Buenos Aires and Santiago on Saturday, where hundreds of people lined up in French embassies to cast their vote.
Tenemos elecciones presidenciales. La primera vuelta es domingo, pero los franceses de las Américas votan sábado para no atrasar el resultado final. Y la segunda vuelta será dentro de 2 semanas. Aquí en Chile tenemos un poco más de 9.500 electores inscritos.
The 12 candidates are running for the French presidency as incumbent Emmanuel Macron is staking his claim for a second term. The top 2 candidates from Sunday's polls will then face off in a second round of elections that are slated to be held on the 24th of April. A month ago, Marine Le Pen was trailing Macron by 10 points. But now she's seen as the favourite to challenge him for the presidency in the runoff vote. Although the race has been overshadowed by Russia's war in Ukraine, for most voters, the issues at home, such as the cost of living, the rising inflation and the overall security situation in Europe, continues to remain the top concerns. Until just a few weeks ago, opinion polls had pointed to an easy win for the pro-European Union. Macron, who was boosted by his active diplomacy over Ukraine, had a strong economic recovery plan. But his late entry into the campaign with only one major rally ahead of the polls and his plan to increase the retirement age have weakened his ratings lately. On top of that, there's another far-right candidate, journalist turned politician Eric Zemmour's ultra-anti-Islamic rhetoric and extreme stance on immigration has helped Le Pen gain those extra points in the race in comparison to her rivals. If the polls are to be believed, then Macron and Le Pen are likely to repeat the 2017 scenario, squaring off in the second round of the presidential polls. Macron won a landslide 5 years ago, taking 66% of the vote, while Le Pen had secured just 34% of the vote share. This time round, though, the polls have forecast that the score would be much closer and much more narrower to predict an easy win. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.